Hey friends, coming to you on a cloudy spring day. It is humid and mild. I was trying to harvest what I could before we're supposed to get rain, fingers crossed. It's so dry here. We haven't had rain for weeks. So I harvested more violets. I wanted to show you my DIY, that's bee in a coconut bottle, DIY herb drying rack. So I have a dehydrator, but I was trying to see if this worked better because sometimes the dehydrator actually dehydrates too much. So I harvested some apple blossoms today. These are for the herbal balms that I make. We've got chickweed that's been drying here for a few days, some rosemary, some valerian that I harvested yesterday. So I just am having it on my rebounder because it lets air flow through. You can spread it out. So I thought I'd share that with you guys, that you don't have to go out and buy all of these fancy equipment. You can use what you have, right? So we're doing meal prep today. We're gonna put the oven on once. So I'm gonna roast some string beans and some artichoke hearts. I've got a gluten-free pizza dough here rising. I use buckwheat flour and with a gluten-free mix. We're trying that this time. Last time I did buckwheat flour with rice flour. It tastes a little weird, but it actually had less of a reaction. I'm gonna roast some chicken breast. I'm going to make some carrot cake muffins. I've got some broccoli and onion that we're going to put on the pizza. We've got some sweet potato slips that I've been harvesting from these sweet potatoes. I've been keeping in the dark and they're growing, but they're not really growing tall in the water. So I don't know. Time will tell, right? Time will tell what happens. I do have slips coming, but they haven't arrived yet. And then I've also got, so it's meal prep day, so there's just shit everywhere. I've got water. This is tap water that I'm leaving to have chlorine and all of the bad stuff dissipate out before I put in the remedy for the tomatoes. My tomatoes do not look so great. I'm going to take you down there, show you. But I've got some infused oils right here. I've got this, my anti-aging blend. It's violets, peonies, and rose petals. I've got a Sweet Dreams blend here. It's skullcap with some other stuff. I don't remember offhand right now. Lemon balm, catmint, skullcap, I think. We've got our vanilla extract, always cooking in the corner. I've got some plantain oil because mine did not smell so fresh anymore. So plantain is starting to grow now. And I've got our cherry bark tincture. So it's about that time where I need to start making teas again. But for now, we are going to do meal prep with the oven. It is 3 o'clock. I'm hoping to get it all done so it's time for dinner. So then we have the next few meals made. I made brisket in the Instapot, so I'm going to top our pizza with that, along with some caramelized onions and some broccoli to use it up. Trying to think the other things I had wanted to show you guys in here. I don't remember offhand, so I'm going to take you downstairs real fast. So it's still too cold outside to put these plants outside. And some of them are not faring so well. So we have some sweet potatoes that we overwintered. I don't know if they're going to actually come back. The turmeric still hasn't sprouted, but it hasn't rotted, I checked. We've got some regular potatoes, some red, and some Yukon Golds, but they seem, I don't know what's happening, if it's bug damage or if it's because it's getting cold still at night, but they're not looking so hot. The tomatoes also are struggling. By this time last year, my tomatoes were a lot bigger and a lot healthier looking. So I do a homeopathic remedy with them, so tomorrow it will be finishing the first series of 3 series, and I'm hoping they're not really growing. My peppers aren't really growing either. The butterfly peas aren't really germinating. Like, I don't know what's going on this year, but everything is kind of struggling. This is my second batch of tomatillos, and it looks good because the first batch was like very leggy, were not strong, did not survive. These are the kabocha squash that was growing in the compost, so I took some out, potted them up, so if my other squash don't germinate, which they haven't yet, at least I have something here. So we've got some habanados, some large bells that I some bunch of basil. Again, my Tulsi, which still isn't germinated. I don't want to move everything because it's like a precarious system. Otherwise, things will fall. So I seeded those, I don't know, 6 weeks ago. Still no germination. I know it takes a long time. It shouldn't take that long. So the nasturtium, see, like my tomatoes, they're showing signs of distress. And some of them had some bugs on them, which is not great. Because if they already have bugs, the chances of them surviving are not so great. That's be upstairs with the coconut container. But the string beans look great. That's about the only thing that looks good, are the string beans, the nasturtium, the squash I saved from the compost pile, the volunteers, because it got 90 degrees and I had just used it. So I'd put all the seeds in the compost pile and they just all germinated in the compost pile. So we saved some. But anything that I intentionally germinated is struggling. And this makes me nervous because I like to be able to grow certain varieties. Yeah, there's definitely bugs. And that you can't get at the store, and even that other people don't grow. And if they're not growing, then this is an issue. Yeah, there's definitely bugs on here. So, not happy about that. So let me know what your status is. Even like my spring crops, my frost hardy crops outside, not really growing. Because again, we had weird temperature fluctuations. I lost some cabbages. I planted them out. I lost some onions. I planted out. We haven't had rain. It was 90 degrees for 3 or 4 days last week. Then it dropped down again. It was chilly. It was about, I guess, high of 60 this week. I don't even know if it was that some days. I don't know. Again, it's fluctuating so much. The plants don't know what to do. And even the plants down here, which are kind of sheltered, are struggling. Like, look how small these sun golds are. And I repotted all of these, I think at least a week ago, if not longer. It's hard to remember. I lose track of time very easily because I do so many different things and I don't always keep, I have everything written down, but I can't always keep it straight in my head. So, yeah, I'm not sure what's going to happen. I kind of freak out every year, not knowing what's going to happen. And you could see, again, like I'm just reusing whatever we had. So we had solo cups that we drilled holes in. We had some pots that we reuse every year. Some cell packs we reuse every year. Again, the salad containers I reuse every year. But see, you could see these are melons. Those are cucumbers. And back there is squash. I have no germination. And I believe I did those on Monday. So it's still a little early, but, you know, I get a little impatient. I'm really upset about the Tulsi because Tulsi is something that I use a lot. I drink a lot of Tulsi tea. I use it in my herbal formulations. I really enjoy it. And to not have it germinate is not great because there really is nobody locally close by that sells Tulsi plants. So I would just wind up just buying the Tulsi tea already if I need it because I need such large amounts of it that's why I grow it so that I have large amounts of it because once it gets established, it does grow a lot if it's happy. But that's where we're at this week. So let me know where you are. Share in the comments below. Talk to you soon.